All right, T-Rex82 here. Welcome back to another Empyrion Galactic Creators Studio build. I apologize for the late coming of this video. I've been getting over the flu for the past week, so I'm finally getting my voice back and able to speak a little bit better. So if I start coughing, I do apologize ahead of time. All right, with that said, 10.6 is the current build I'm in, the experimental, and I must say that I am very, very happy. I will not be going anywhere anytime soon. I think Elion has done a very, very good job of really pulling back and taking a look at a lot of things and making some really hard decisions. And I know this is just the beginning. We're going to start off with the reasons why I like it. Number one, the great example of this is what I have in front of me. That is my latest build, latest full build, I should say, that most of you know of as the Taiki. This was originally made to be a cargo vessel, an endgame cargo vessel, small vessel that you could take from a CV planet side or vice versa, um, or whatever you want to do with it. The reason that I'm happy is because when building this ship, I found myself putting a lot of unnecessary things in there. And what I mean by that is, with this being a cargo vessel, there's absolutely no reason for me to have loads of guns. There's not even a reason for me to have a shield generator. This is not supposed to be a fighting vessel. So, I'm happy to say that by removing all of the RCS, which it does not need, which is amazing, um, and removing almost all the weaponry, and I say almost. I still have 4 Gatling guns in the front, and I have 2 missile pods on the side, and I may remove a couple more. The reason I say that is because I am just barely outside of the range on this of the tier 4. So tier 4 is 48,000. I've been told this number is incorrect and that we should be going by the device's total, or they are going to also be reworking some numbers as well. So this could fluctuate. That's why I'm not releasing anything yet on the workshop. I want to see where things start to pan out. But I'm really close to getting to that 48,000. If I remove a couple of those guns, we're going to be well within range of the tier 4. And with this being the most intensive build I've ever done, I am extremely happy that I'm able to keep this one. So keep an eye out as things move along. I will be throwing this back up on the workshop and redoing it. The other thing that I did was a previous challenge under Excalibur's Anvil Challenge. It was for a level 7 SV, which quickly became my go-to small vessel. The idea of it being is you want to be able to get it as quickly as possible, but you also want it to have that upgradability so you can carry it on into endgame. So originally I came up with the A58 Nyx. I think it turned out really well. I was very happy with it, and I am pleased to say that as of right now, um, there is the option for me to have this still run as a tier 1 right off the bat, and then upgrade it all the way to tier 4, which would give you almost the maximum weaponry. Not quite, but almost there, and still be in good standing. And so I've also done a little bit of redesign, tweaked a little few things on it, and you can see that right over here. So I've removed, for weight purposes, I've removed the top fairing that I had up there. It was a lot of just, I don't know, I guess grid-like or wave-like fairings that I had. I did it for aesthetic purposes. It was purely design. Didn't serve a purpose of any kind. It did set it apart from a specific style, but with this I decided to pull those off. I could always add them back in. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be doing with it. I did change out the wings on this, so the wings are now carbon composite rather than steel, again, to save weight. I streamlined this edge a bit more. Made it a little bit more of a graceful edge rather than the clunky one that I had on the previous version. And I've cut down the number of guns, as you can see, 2 in the front. Because as it sits right now, this is a tier 1 vessel. So you just have the 2 there. But you can expand to the 4 on each side that you see in the back. And I've closed off a couple spots there that I used to have where you could have full maximum loadout, but we just can't reach that the way it sits right now. Um, To set it aside from its brethren, I added these winglets on the front, which I also like because they kind of act as skids as well. So when you land this thing, it's rather than having another set of landing gear in the front, because you don't need it, you'll essentially be landing on skids. And I kind of like the way that turned out. The other thing that I did with this is I racked my brain a lot to figure out how I'm going to be able to make this so that you are able to, in your game, upgrade it as necessary with the new core system. So I essentially gutted out the whole inside of the vessel and started over. Good thing about that is I have increased the amount of cargo capacity by almost 4,000 to 5,000 SU. So we've gained cargo capacity, but I have added these doors on the bottom. Again, this is not painted yet. I still have a slap of coat of paint on it and call this a day, but these doors are where you're going to end up putting all of the different cores that you're going to need. And every single one will be down here except for the first tier 1 core, which is in back right here. There used to be a cargo box there. It's unnecessary, considering right now we're sitting at 13,500 SU on the actual cargo side of that. There's still a spot for your pentaxid tank. Nothing has changed there. Nothing has changed up here, so you still have room for your shield generator and for your warp drive. With both of those in, you're going to be going towards that tier 4 side, and then you can start adding your weapons and doing whatever you want to do. Right now, I just have thruster. No, actually, these are thruster S in there right now. That's how I can establish the tier 1 with one thruster M in the front. I also widened the cowl in the front and added an additional set of thrusters there because the best feedback that I've gotten from this is that it really didn't have enough stopping power. Oh, I just ran out of fuel there. So I added those in just to kind of balance it out a little bit more. I've cut down on the amount of thrust that I had up here because it's now unnecessary. There's no need for it. So I got to do something with lighting in there and just kind of make that look good. Maybe close that inside off, or I'll figure something out. I'll make it look good there. But yeah, so that's that. So I'm happy again where we're going with that. There's a lot of fixing that needs to be done. There's still some things that need to change, but we're going in the right direction. And it's brilliant because right now, cargo vessel does what it's supposed to do, nothing more, and it shouldn't do anymore. And then you've got a vessel that is capable of raining hellfire down on the planet once fully loaded. So good job, Elian. I'm happy with where we're going. Keep it up. The last thing we're going to go over on this short video before I lose my voice and have to start all over again is going to be the Neurocite build that I was doing, where he did the front end of the Frankenstein build and I was doing the rear end. I have married those together. I have started texturing those a little bit. I have a long ways to go. Neurocite is known, from what I've seen, to build smaller, compact, efficient, very purpose-built vessels. I think he was high on medication when he was building this because it is completely opposite of exactly what he was doing. So what I anticipated was building a smaller vessel, which is why I kept my end a little bit smaller. And he went all out. But you know what? It turned out great. I love what he did. He's doing things in there that I never even thought of, which is another reason why I wanted to do this. Is it gives me ideas to kind of see how others are building and grab some of those ideas and pull them in and use them in my own head. But without further ado, this is the Hammerhead. Okay, still a lot of texturing to do on it. Now, with this being 10.6, this is way, way out of the range of being even possible to fly. So I will have to remove some thrusters. I'll have to change a few things around. But either way, it's really cool. So I'm just going to do a quick outside flyby. I never would even have thought to do a broad head like this. And what he's done is, it's great. It's a shape that I never even thought to try. And I love it. I absolutely love it. There's a lot of flat surfaces. I do want to kind of break up a little bit, and I'll figure out how I'm going to do that off screen. I'm not going to waste your time doing that right now. But we've got these cool little side pods in here. Not sure how I'm going to make that look. Make them look like vents. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But I'm going for a two-tone on this. I'm going with the black and also going with a light gray just to kind of match the thrusters, which I have here. I may ditch those. I don't necessarily need them. My other thought is, and you'll see when we get in the inside, is I may put a small landing pad on each side, external landing pads for small vessels. Um, just because the amount of thrust that this thing already has and the amount that we can cut down, it might be beneficial. And you'll see when I get on the inside. Also, Alien has changed the hangar doors, and I love them. A lot of people complained at first. They thought that this inside line here had kind of encroached on the part of the door that was going to open. It's just a texture, so I love it. It's still the same size. Nothing has changed there. I love the animation. And let's head on in. So this is where I've gotten so far on the hangar side for my part. You've got your tier two generators up there with a lot of glowy stuff, which is kind of fun. And again, you can also see that from the outside through the viewports on the top. I didn't make them so they were right in your face. I just wanted to make them so they were subtly there on the outside at night, and we'll do a night shot at the end just to see. But I've got most of the texturing done in here. The color palette, the way I want it to be. Um, so you've got your oxygen tanks on this side, and also on that side, your fuel tanks up above. You've got your repair bay here with the repair bay on the floor, excuse me, and the repair console over here. Behind this door, you're going to have your pentaxid tanks. And the one problem I ran into is his build, when I married these two together, had a center walkway where I had split it into two sides. Um, it didn't work. Well, let me not say it didn't work. It does work. It just had to cut in. He had a cylinder running down here on both sides. So simply had to cut in. So I'm making this in here into a little bit of a showcase room. Nothing really going to be useful in here just because you do have all these thrusters around here. It's not a good idea to be in there by any means. So if you have to access it, you can. However, I'm probably just going to throw some pipes and glowy stuff in there and call it a day. But as we come out here, you're looking into his main floor. And I love what he's done with these blocks here. He's created depth. And that's what I talk about a lot in my builds or in my videos is I want to see people start creating a lot more depth because it causes people to really stop what they're doing and look just at the small details. Like when you're looking through that window, you're seeing all sorts of pipes, you're seeing all sorts of cool things, and otherwise it could just be a flat wall. So, Neurocite, great job. I love it. Oh, and the other thing is, since we did have to marry them and kind of cut in from the side, we do have a cool giant window of the shield generator there. So when that's on, I can't turn it on because I don't have any pentaxid in there right now, but it'll look brilliant. I got a texture on the inside of there and make it look good. But coming up here, oh, I should say on this side, excuse me, we have a cargo container with. Did I break something? I feel like I broke something. 161,000. I could swear that was 230,000. I'll look and see what I did. I might have broken something. Sorry, Neurosite. We'll fix it. We'll take care of it. But a cargo extension there. I think I know where I broke it, but I'll fix it. All right, not an issue. This side, you're going to have a cool little cargo section here. I like to spread those out just because it adds to that RP factor, and a lot of people don't use enough of that. And I think the game, you can do RP. You can also do builds that have a purpose and reach toward that purpose, but still have that RP value. I think you can marry the both. A lot of people say you can only have one or the other. I disagree, 100%. But he's done something over here, which I think is great, and I never would have thought about it. This room has cargo containers that look like they could be moved on this conveyor. I never would have thought to use these arms like this, and he did a great job with it. So excellent, my man. It looks wonderful. I am triggered by this a little bit. I need to fix this right now. Hold on. Bear with me. Oof. Ah, much better. Okay, there we go. Um, so it looks like it can move on this track and move these containers around. It would be amazing if we ever got to that point in this game, but as of right now, just for visual purposes, you knocked it out of the park. I love it. Got a little bit more texturing to do back there. I'm just tying in the colors from each room, from room to room, so that all looks a little bit more seamless. But he's done a wonderful job with these walls that I don't use enough of. I need to start using them a bit more because from seeing what he's been doing, it really looks great. All right, back here we have the advanced constructor on the inside of here, and this is another prime example. I mean, look at that ceiling. That looks like a great ceiling. It adds a lot of depth, and it just looks interesting. So excellent job, sir. Excellent. All right, we've got. I was looking at the wrong side. 240,000 on this side. Wonderful, great, plenty of storage. I love it. This here is an access hatch that will take you to the top of the vessel, so you can get out if you have to repair anything, or you just want to run back and forth while this thing's in mid-flight. Good luck to you, but give it a shot. You can probably do it. Let's see. So that's closing. Let's head on this way. Now this other room, I love it because it reminds me of Disneyland or an aquarium or something. So there you could it's almost like going in that big tube and you got all the sharks floating over your head. That's what he did here, and it's great. It separates the two rooms, but also brings them together as one. It's absolutely wonderful. So you've got plenty of growing plots in this other room. You've got 4 refrigerators, all you're ever going to need. It just looks phenomenal. Excellent job, sir. Excellent. And just kind of sweep back around. We'll go back into there. And you've got these walkways where you can access both sides. Great thinking on that. I love it. Excuse me. Great job. Okay. I'm starting to lose my voice, so we'll have to speed this up just a little bit. All right. So we've got the pilot's side on this side, which is going to be on the left side. So here's your pilot seat. You have pretty good view out of the left-hand side of the ship. Excellent. I love it. I like the windows. I love the way that it is got the center section here. You could have just done it all plain, but you know what? It breaks it up. I love it. This is where you can access the ground. So he's got 2 of these boarding ramps here with an oxygen station there. Good thinking. I almost always forget about that. So 2 of these boarding ramps. Oh, I never even noticed that. You sneaky man. Awesome. I love it. Enter. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's where you can go ahead and access the ship. Jump down on foot. So head height, it's wonderful. Let's get back up in there. And he did mirror that on the other side. Difference is, on the other side, it does not go all the way to the ground. He did something pretty neat. He added an extra little room. So you've got a lounge in here. And down here, you have medical. Again, with those blocks. I love them. Small little room, but he utilized the space very well and is laid out very well. So excellent job, Neurocite. I'm very happy with this. I have a ton more of texturing to do. You know what? Maybe I'll even bring you in on a just like a play and on my own server, and then we can just go around and texture this thing like crazy. Oh, I never even noticed these lights. Oh, love it. Now I got a lot of ideas. All right. So I am going to leave it right there. Let me know what you guys think down in the video below. Let me know what you think of 10.6 if you've played it, how you're feeling about it, what are your worries, or if you're very happy with the way it's going and you're confident that it's going to go in the right direction. Let me know. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. I had a goal of hitting 100 subscribers this month. So thank you to all of you who have just recently subscribed and all of you who have subscribed in the past. I love the support that I'm getting from you guys. I am almost to 100. I have 24 hours. And when you're watching this, it's most likely going to be Halloween. So happy Halloween to everybody. Share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, hit the button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And until next time, all of you, have a great holiday. Be safe and keep your heads above the hard deck. I'll catch you later.